why is the music not playing?
I don't know, but it says we're live. So what's up?
We're live. We're gonna have to get us a new producer. What in the world, Frank? Anyway, it's Thursday. Our brains are already frozen. The front ain't even here yet. Thursday nights, Idle Zone Syndicate. No fanfare, no music. We just sing it, man. We just roll.
We'll just wing it.
Diki, you wanna sing that tune for us real quick?
No, I'm good. My vocal cords are shot. I've been screaming all day. Oh yeah, man. Hostile work environments. You know how it is.
America. Yeah, sounds great. So anyway, Thursday night, Idle Zone Syndicate time. Albers Marine Sports Show this weekend.
It's our 20th annual.
20th annual.
We've been doing it 20 years now. We started in a little box to start our first show 20 years ago. It was at an armory, I think, in Pittsburgh,
downtown.
Kansas. Yeah. So this year we're at the Camptown event, it's a big event center, and it's really cool in there. A lot of stuff. We got a ton of vendors this year. So I'm excited. Thank you guys for having me on. I'm glad to be here.
Well, dude, we're glad to have you. Yeah, I saw some of the videos. They've been posting the last day or so.
Yeah.
It does look really nice.
Yeah. Camptown's really stepped it up, and that place it's going to be a really cool place to have an event. So we're excited to partner with them.
This isn't really not necessarily the first event that's been there, but it's definitely one of the few bigger ones that they've had. I mean, this place, it's great that they finally did something to the building and stuff.
Yeah.
It sat vacant for so long and was really a pretty bad eyesore for our area. And, when they built the casino years ago, we always thought that we were going to have the show there, and they didn't build anything big enough to have events there.
Yeah.
So
couldn't get a boat in.
Pretty cool what Camptown has turned it into,
This is our fourth event center spot. So, like I said, I want to thank my mom. She's been doing it for 20 years, and all my staff for getting everything ready. So, like I said, we got Edwin Evers coming in. I talked to him tonight. He's going to stay Friday night and Saturday night now just because of the weather. But I don't think we'll get the weather till later tomorrow night if we get in. I think we're going to get some, but I don't think it's as bad as what people say.
And the show must go on.
The show, it has to go on.
Plain and simple.
Yeah, they got already ready for the parking lot's enormous, so they already got ready for if they got to plow snow or anything. Everything's inside.
Another benefit to it, honestly, if you just wanted to fly an airplane in, you could, because the airport's 2 miles away.
Yeah, you might be able to land it right there in the parking lot.
Yeah, so if you've got one of our special guests is behind the scenes, but if he's got like a personal helicopter and wanted to cruise in, he'd be good.
Yeah. But
what an entrance!
You can.
Wouldn't that be fun?
That'd be a blast, man.
You can land right down there in the center of the dog track. Just walk on in. It used to be an old dog track, and it's like I said, it's really done neat in there. We got a huge place for our speakers to talk. A lot more room than what we're used to.
Gonna have some food and beverages like always.
Yep. Like I said, I'm blowing out a lot of 2025 boats right now. So this is the best deal. We're having show specials on them. This is the best deal I'll be able to offer on them. So it's been a wild week. I've sold 3 boats this week already, and I haven't even made it to the show yet. So it's kind of been a little crazy. But like I said, it always happens this time of year. except we've had nice weather. I've been wearing shorts, and now we're finally getting the snowpocalypse or whatever you want to call it.
Well, let's hope not. Let's
Yeah.
hope it's not snowpocalypse.
I mean, back when I was young, I loved when it snowed 12 inches and get in my truck and go play around, That was the thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
But
Absolutely. Spinning kitties in a big empty parking lot.
But we do have some kid events tomorrow. They got a BB gun range this year, which is new. I'm kind of excited to see it. I haven't seen it yet. We still have the archery, and then we will still have kids casting on Saturday from 10 to 2. So I'll have somebody help run it. I'll have something there. I'll get something for them. I can always set something up.
Set it up.
I will. Something else. What I was going to say. I do have the college kids help me a lot, so I'd like to give them thanks. They come in and help, run the archery. They might be helping run the kids cast and all that kind of stuff. So, they get credit for it, but it's good community credit. So, yeah, I want people to come out and take a look. We got a lot of boats in there. I put 15 boats inside. So, and there's still a ton of room.
And we're opening the doors tomorrow at 2, right?
Yep. Tomorrow at 2.
2 to 7 tomorrow?
2 to 7 tomorrow, and 9 to 6 on a Saturday. So I hope everybody gets a chance to at least come out. If they can. If they can't, they can't. I understand that. But I think tomorrow is our best day for the weather. You know what I mean? It might be a little chilly, but we're not going to get the cold weather until I think that Saturday going into Sunday night. So, but
now, correct me if I'm wrong, but you have cold beers in the concession stand, right?
Yep. We're having Chicken Marys too for lunch.
Nice.
Yeah. Chicken Marys for lunch on Friday, Saturday, and then they're having brats and beers for the night. So, yeah, it's kind of cool to have Chicken Marys come in there and do a little catering too. So,
that is cool.
Yeah.
Going to have one of the vendors that I would like to just give a brief mention about is a vendor that hasn't ever been at the show, but they got some really cool stuff. Tackle making, if you're a tackle tinkerer in the wintertime, Fin and Feather out of Springfield.
Fin and Feather came in. We also have a new sponsor. A new one came in. It's called, I think, Kansas Rocks for Rec or something. But they do all the side by sides and going up.
Oh yeah, K-Rock.
K-Rock, yeah. And it's kind of going to be a neat one to see. They do all kinds of different events. We have some cool custom paint guys painting there too. I mean, there's 2 there that are doing a really good job on custom paint and stuff. So, I mean, there's just something for everybody there. I mean, there's even something for some ladies. You know what I mean? We got one called the 2 Old Broads coming in. I mean, we try to make something for everybody. You know what I mean? Just
sure.
I'm interested to see the vendor lineup just because of the new space. You know what I'm saying?
I think we're at like 35 to 40 vendors.
Yeah, so that's.
I mean, we've
almost doubled.
Yeah, way more than that. Yeah. So we really expanded this year, but we'll see. I think it's going to be awesome. I mean, that place is a cool looking place inside. So. Lots more room. They got a giant bar. I mean, the bar is as big as this garage.
That's not very big.
It's pretty big. Yeah, I was trying to talk him into maybe shooting some fireworks off, but I don't think that's going to happen with the weather coming in.
Shoot them off inside or what?
I don't know.
Oh.
Well, man, maybe you can get some of them side by sides and go run around the parking lot.
We can do that. Yeah.
Or the dog track.
Yeah, race them.
Round the dog track. That'd be a blast.
Yeah. Yeah.
Always a great time at the Albers show.
It is. We get a lot of talking and a lot of bull essing going on. A lot of lying going on too. For me personally, I like it a lot better than like the
the huge shows, like Kansas City and Oklahoma City, and because it's more intimate, you can stand there. It's like Edwin's done with his deal. You can stand there and visit with him.
Yep. And we're gonna have hats. I think they sent me like 100 hats to have signed. So kids or adults that want to have a hat signed. So we do have that. We do have that duck hunter too. I mean, he's a really good duck hunter coming in to talk too.
My God, a friend of mine, I would swear to you once the duck hunting dude to like sign his forehead. He's like,
see,
boy, if Roy Carter's handing anything out, man, call me. I'll be there. I might leave early from work and all that. And I'm like, okay.
I got a mallard for a pet duck. I want to train it, bring it on a leash, and have it maybe bite his ankle or something. But I do have one, so I'm kind of. I don't know. I like my ducks.
Well, animals have rights too, right?
Yeah.
You have a pet duck.
I've got 4 chickens and 2 ducks. Yeah. They're pretty cool.
Now, the big question, do they stay in the house with you?
Not yet. It hasn't got cold, though. We'll just have to see.
I got heat lamps in there. I built a thing called the Ark. Ark is what I call it. But, it's kind of like a redneck built chicken coop, but it's pretty cool looking.
Okay, well, yep, this is good. Thanks for coming on.
Glenn, you're welcome anytime, man.
Yeah,
glad to have you come on.
Yeah, I might say some off the wall crap, but you know what?
Well, you fit right in.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you guys having me on.
Sure.
Like I said, people come out, take a look, see what we got.
Absolutely.
And if you're interested in a new vessel, you heard it from him. Best deal the whole year.
Yeah.
Can you, let me just make sure I'm very clear on this. If I talk my wife into it, I can legitimately come to the boat show tomorrow at say 2:30. I'll give you 30 minutes of breathing room.
Yeah.
And if I have a check in my hand, can I buy the boat right then and there?
You can. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here it is. Done deal. Bring the money.
You can bring the money?
I don't know.
It goes without saying, Kiki, that if you buy this boat tomorrow, we're going to need video of that.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll do it.
Yeah.
He might be sleeping in my house that night, but
she'll get over it.
Like I said, thanks again for having me, guys. I appreciate it.
Sure.
Maybe we'll go live tomorrow or something and check in.
Heck yeah. Awesome.
Cool.
Hey, John.
Hey.
I'm out of here, boys.
See you Glenn.
Later.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
How's it going?
Well, the wind has switched, my friend.
Great.
Yeah, it's howling out of the north right now. It is gross.
Yeah.
So
Not looking forward to it.
Onward and upward.
Mm-hmm.
We have a returning guest this evening. His little blonde sidekick is asleep at the moment. So he may get to talk to us this time.
Nice.
Who we got tonight, John?
Well, I am very ill prepared because, as usual, I didn't do it ahead of time. And then today I spent all day. You know, when you live in a camper, it ain't just like, well, we're just going to hunker down. You actually have to prepare.
You got to do things, I guess.
So that's what I did all day today. Emptied the poop tank.
Well, yeah.
Because you don't want to be doing that when it's below zero.
Could you even do it if it was below zero? That's the question.
Well, I had to empty it so that I could prepare and put antifreeze in it. You know, so normally we have the gray tank valves and everything open except for the black tank. But when it's going to be freezing and not be above freezing for 4 days, you have to prepare. So we close them all and we put antifreeze in them all so that the antifreeze is sitting at the bottom in the, where the valves are and everything, but while they're empty.
Dang it. See, I was picturing that scene in Joe Dirt, with the ketchup and the French fry.
Now,
What you got there is a big old chunk of pooping.
yeah. I got the generator out, had to fire it up, tested it, make sure it would start. And then found out that it's got a special plug, 30 amp plug that I did not have, an adapter for the camper cord for that plug. So I had to run around town, find that, found one, tested it. Everything's working. So I believe we're ready. All the rooms got the, air conditioners on heat and they're set on 61 and they're running to keep everything warm in the lodge. And we do have some people that are from the casino that are going to stay tomorrow night and Saturday night, staffers, that don't want to drive home. And so that's good for us, I guess, as long as we don't lose power. And I got to send them home. So, because I don't have a generator for the whole place.
You need a abandoned ship. I'm 90 miles north, bub.
Yeah. I don't think we'll have to, but you never know. You never know.
If you need a generator, I may know a guy.
Yeah. I need a big generator, but I don't know how to hook it up.
I'm good. We're good. I got big ones.
Yep. All right. Anyway, long story short, I am not prepared. I didn't even change my clothes. I'm all grubby. I'm dirty. Oh, and on top of that, I completely emptied my boat out because Monday I'm supposed to take it in to get it detailed so that I can sell it, possibly, or at least it'll be ready to be sold. And Val said, "You have 6 tubs of stuff in that boat, giant tubs." I said, "Yes."
Yes. And
Anyway, let's bring on our guest. I guess he's back there. He's waiting patiently.
Oh yeah, he's been hanging out. Listening.
All right.
Well, look at
They're just saying hi real quick, then they're gonna go back inside.
Hi guys.
Somebody's got a bum lips because she runs with her face forward and ran straight into a door today, but everything.
Oh, wow.
We're all better.
Like your dad.
Yeah.
Me. Me.
You did.
Runs in the family, huh?
All right.
No.
We're gonna bring on somebody to talk to. So
All right, let's bring him on, Mr. Beau Browning, being Mr. Patience. How are you?
Thanks for having me.
How are you?
Good. Waiting on it to get whatever they said earlier, the snow apocalypse or whatever they think is coming here. But everybody's freaking out. The stores don't have any beer, milk, or toilet paper left in them. So
it's crazy.
Something's coming.
It's crazy. I went a couple days ago and it was a madhouse.
Mm-hmm.
And I got halfway done with the boat. Well, not halfway, about 2/3 done unloading the boat. And I'm like, I don't have enough tubs. So I told Val, I got to go to the store and get 2 more tubs. And so we did that. And it was a super madhouse. Like craziness going on.
Did you get your groceries at? Are you stocked up?
We're stocked up. I think we're ready. We're ready to hunker down and we'll be fine. I hope y'all are too.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. We don't even know what we're getting yet. They've changed the forecast so many times that it could be 1 inch, it could be 12 inches of snow, it could be all sleet.
That's my main deal. Is I just hope that it's snow. Whatever we get is
Right.
snow and not ice.
Yeah, the ice is a bad deal.
Don't need that. Don't need that at all. We have this giant tree. It's a pretty big tree that is right next to the camper. So
That could be bad.
I have nightmares of, I don't know what I was thinking when I put the camp. I know what I was thinking. It's going to be nice and shady.
Hmm.
But then when times like these roll around, I'm like, I'm going to die tonight in an ice storm. It's going to fall on, I just hope it falls on the living room and not the other end. That's all I can say. I don't think it's going to fall. It's pretty sturdy, but who knows? You never know.
Well, you're not going to sleep through it.
Not going to sleep through it, probably.
It will wake you up. I mean, you're not going to miss it.
Depends on which end it hits. I might sleep through if it hits the other end because I'm a pretty heavy sleeper. I sleep with earplugs in anyway. And Val's like, did you hear that? Like limb hit the top of the camper or whatever. I'm like, nope, I didn't hear it. I'm out.
Oh my.
When I go to sleep, I'm out.
Must be nice.
I have trouble getting to sleep sometimes. Like if there's just like heavy breathing, like loud breathing, I can't get to sleep. But once I'm asleep, I'll sleep through anything.
Okay.
Anyway, what are you watching there, Beau?
Well, one, I was going over here to my dog to make sure he's not eating a pair of cowboy boots or something else, and probably Lee Livesey on the TV.
Uh-huh.
But I got it on mute. So if I can't find anything good to talk about, y'all can just watch fishing.
Yeah. That's right. So are you excited about the year and when do you take off? And
I'm excited. I've got another week before I take off. I'm going to take off a week from tomorrow and head to Gunnersville. But right now, I mean, I pick up my boat tomorrow from getting wrapped. It was just all the preseason tinkering and getting things lined out. I mean, sponsorship stuff, all that's been nailed down. But as far as boat wraps, breaking in boat, like I got my boat a week from yesterday and I broke it in. Then I took it straight to get wrapped, get it back tomorrow, hopefully. And it's going to be packing it full of stuff. And for some reason this year, and everybody that I've talked to, it's been a time crunch on getting all this stuff lined out, which is not normal. I know last year I had, I fished out of my tournament boat for, it felt like 2 months before season started. And then this year, for some reason, everything's kind of been jammed up, and it's nothing against the boat manufacturers or anything else. It was just one of those years, and we're starting off a little bit earlier, I think, too. But it's been a time crunch and lots of changes going on in the industry too. I think that has a lot to do with all of it. But it has been kind of a stressful off season in a way here recently of getting things lined out and where they need to be.
yeah. Are you excited about Gunnersville?
I am so stoked. Well, I am, and I'm not. I always love starting off in like Florida. I always feel like every year starts off in Florida, and there's something neat about that. And I like Florida fishing, but I am very excited to start off at Gunnersville. I don't know what Martin's going to hold, but I love fishing Gunnersville. Everybody does. I mean,
I know what Martin's going to hold.
I do.
Little bitty fish.
Exactly. So it's exciting in the sense that we get to start off at a place that's such a mega factory. It's got so many big ones, and then flip flop to the next week where it's going to probably take what it took to make the cut at Gunnersville is probably going to what it's going to take to win at Martin, which is going to be bizarre. So it's just it'll be neat. I know it's going to be a truck packed full of totally different stuff than what's in the boat going to Gunnersville, and then flip flop it when you get there and get your spinning poles and light line and go try to catch 10 pounds.
They did that last year where they went to a giant fish factory and then they went to Sabine. Went from
Exactly.
Fort to Sabine.
That's going to be a lot very similar to that. I mean, but it's just a weird second tournament. But I'm excited for it because I do like Martin. I qualified.
Yeah.
It fishes similar to back home Highland Reservoir, but it is going to be a total world of difference going from one to the other.
And you got the new rules.
New rule. Yeah, we got some new rules. We're going to be no scoping and a lot of scoping, it sounds like, when we get to use it. So Gunnersville is obviously no scope, which is going to be really weird because truthfully, spending a lot of time down there in the past and even this year doing some pre-practice, and if you had scope and play there, I would bet the barn that everybody in the top 15 would have century marks. I mean, if you took it, it'd be the top 10, all the top 10, but you would have so many guys breaking century marks and on the verge of breaking century marks that it would be stupid. And I don't think we're really going to, we might see a century mark, or a century belt, but it's not going to make it bad or a low weight tournament by any means, but there's a difference between the max that you could have, I guess, when you have scope and don't at a lake like that.
Sure.
You go from everybody's got 20 pounds to everybody's got 25 to 30 pounds, it would feel like, because that place has just got that many big ones in it. And it is so easy to catch them with live scope.
Yeah.
And then at Martin, I really don't think it'll matter, to be honest with you. There's not a huge population of big ones in there anyway. So
Right.
it's going to kind of play with the guys that can fish shallow are going to go fish shallow and catch good bags, and guys are going to try to scope. And I really don't see it playing huge at Martin. And then we've got some other unique tournaments like Champlain's no scope, which I'm excited about because it would obviously, anybody that's watched tournament fishing on Champlain in the past couple of years, it would dominate. Catching true floaters in the middle of no man's land out there, that's going to be off the radar now, and it's going to change that one completely, which is great for a guy like myself because I would much rather go slide a jig under docks and catch a big largemouth, but it's going to completely change the game.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a neat season nonetheless.
Yeah, I think it's going to be very interesting this year. For the fan, I think it's going to be very interesting and fun to watch.
Exactly. And the guy, the people that want a keyboard warrior and complain about the everybody's just looking at their screens and this and that and the other, it's going to give them kind of a 50-50. If you want to watch it, you can. If you don't, tune in next week. We'll be no scope or whatever it might be,
Yep.
So it's good. I like it. I really do like the 50-50 or whatever you want to call it, that kind of scope tournaments and no scope tournaments. I've never liked a format like MLF has where they're turning on one period, turn it off the next, and it creates confusion. I tried to watch the Gunnersville tournament last week. It had me all messed up because I'm like, do they have a scope period or do they not? And if you want to use it, turn it off, or don't want it, just turn it off. If you do, turn it on and let it all ride out. So
yeah, that was an interesting. I watched quite a bit of that, and that was a pretty interesting event. Like when the guys that were scoping, they would get out to that big lead, and then it didn't matter in the end, really.
Exactly. Well, I mean, Drew Gill did it best. I mean, he went out there and he caught the crap out of them scoping, and then he even said on camera, he's like, I don't have anything other than the scope deal going.
Yeah.
He did it all practice, and and he went and just caught just enough to stay in it to win, there at the end. And it did make for a really cool tournament to watch, knowing that he did it the first period, jumped way out there, and then just held on to it as much as he could.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, another one to give credit where credit's due, watching that tournament, Jacob Walker caught 31 pounds of bass on a chatterbait.
Yeah,
I mean, for his best 5, if you took his best
5
he had
fish,
31 pounds of bass on
he would have
chatterbait.
smoked everybody. 5 fish tournament.
You got to give it to him. That's cooler than crap, to be honest with you.
Yep.
So, big hats off to him for that.
Yeah, that was crazy to watch. And I don't know if the two of you watched it, but Jacob, he caught a 6.5 pound. He needed 7.2 or something like that to tie Drew Gill. 30 seconds left. He caught a 6.5 something, and just lost by like a pound.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. It was cool. It was really cool.
It was a good, cool tournament. Like he wore that chatterbait out.
Something I want to ask your opinion of real quick. So the one of the other rule changes is the information rule.
Mm-hmm.
And they switched it from, correct me if I'm wrong, but as soon as the lake's announced, used to be as soon as the lake's announced, no info, no whatever, blah, 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 to now it's 30 days. Is that right?
I think it's 28. But yeah, 28, 30 days before the tournament. You can't buy or barter, but you can talk to your buddies about.
You can talk to your dad.
Exactly. I mean, if I want, and I called Lisa, the tournament director, when they announced that, and I said, "Let me just get this straight, because it's really a big time change." I said, I may or may not do it, but if I'm sitting there talking with Dad and he mentioned something about he caught him at Champlain in one specific area years ago, could I walk over there to his house and go, "Hey, what was that area that you caught him in?" And he'd tell me, and she told me, she's like, "Yeah, you could do that if you wanted to." I mean, it was so weird to me because it was so new. I didn't want to get anything crossed up, and I wanted to get it completely clear and hear it from Lisa, so I knew exactly what we could do. And I mean, that's a huge rule change, but I love it. And here's the reason why I like it so much. This is going to step on some toes. The people that are going to play in the gray area and try to get everything they can, they're going to get it either way, whether that rule's in there or not. Here's the people that rule before the completely no information starting when it was announced. This is where it hurt them. The good guys that want to play completely by the rules and don't want to get anywhere in the gray area, it hurts them, because then you got guys that are playing gray and it shows that are having an advantage, or they're finding little loopholes, and they're and they get little penalties here and there and this and that. Now it just keeps everybody on the same page. It's super cut and dry. You got till 28 days before, and then you got to completely cut off. And it makes it easier for us too. It's hard when they announce a schedule to try to stay completely cut off from all that information, because you're at gas stations pre-practicing, you're at, on social media, this, that, and the other, talking to other fishermen, and stuff comes up, and you kind of got to be rude about it in a way, when you have to go, hey, don't say that. They announced our tournament, and that one's 6 months away, but you can't say anything about it. And they're like, "What do you mean 6 months away? I'm talking about what I caught them on the other day." And like, yeah, you can't say anything about it. You can't. It avoids that whole conflict and then stuff building up. I can shut off for 28 days before a tournament and not talk to you. It makes it very simple.
It has to be a good peace of mind.
Right.
And it also, I would add to that, I'm nervous talking to guys before the season starts, because I'm like, just like you, I wrote down your entire schedule the entire elite schedule for this year. And I try to like tiptoe around it as much as possible, just because I don't want to screw somebody up,
Right.
Because I know how it is.
Well, the best thing is this is it's a public podcast. So if anything's said on here, it's technically it's to anybody, but it's it is so tricky. And the one line that I feel like fishermen, especially when you talk to guys from other leagues and this and that and the other, we all talk. The number one line is, and I hate hearing this crap in October. Y'all don't go there next year, dude. Do y'all go there next year? That's what everybody wants to say.
Yeah.
Man, I caught him. Wait, do y'all go to Gunnersville next year? Oh, never mind. And it's like, man, we are 6 months away from that tournament. What you're going to tell me right now is not going to depict anything that I do when we get there in June. You're talking about how you're catching them in October, really and truly. I mean, but we can't talk about it. But it doesn't really do anything. So
like me, I'm going to forget.
Exactly. Or you forget.
Conversation.
Well, and then like I fished that EQ on Champlain, and we had a big registration in the whole 9 yards. And I mean, I'm sitting in a room full of guys that are just talking fishing. And it was so stressful. I mean, I remember telling Dad when we walked out of there, I was like, man, that is going to eat at me until Champlain. And that tournament was literally 10 months away, but it had already been announced. And I'm like, that's going to eat me up until we get there. Because I feel like I got something. I couldn't sit there and tell you what it was, but I feel like something was said. It just was an uncomfortable atmosphere.
Yeah, that's kind of why it was like, kind of ease your mind a little bit, because I know you come from a fishing family, and last year's rules that had to have been a little trying. I mean, I'm sure you go over to your parents' house for dinner or something, and
right,
the conversation had to have been awkward a little bit.
No doubt. We had to really tiptoe around. Which I mean, the best thing about myself and my dad is we don't really care to talk about fishing. Like, and I tell everybody that, like, my dad and I talk about golf and bow hunting. We don't care about talk. We think about it so much and we do it for livings that we'd rather talk about either what's going on out here on Hamilton or Ouachita, or who's winning the PGA Tour event, and we're going to tune into it and watch it the next day, or here's the buck that I have on camera. We're just not that worried about all fishing.
And he knows the rules. You're sitting with somebody that knows the rules.
Exactly.
So you don't have to kind of worry about whether he's going to say something he shouldn't, because he's not.
Right. But it is fun now knowing that we have that ability. If we want to conversate over a lake, we can conversate over a lake. And that's a really cool. And it's the same for the opens, and he's fishing the opens now. So it's just, it's a lot more relaxing, I guess, if that makes sense. A lot more comfortable.
Well, my scenario that I could see, screwing me up if I was in your shoes, it'd be like, hey, kid, you going to, I don't know, the river in the middle of summer? And be like, yeah, I'm going to go flip me one up on a brush hog or something. Oh, crap. 1 minute.
Right.
I'll take that back. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say.
Exactly.
Just something as simple as that. I mean.
Exactly. Yeah. It makes it a lot easier because, like I said, it's easy to shut down for 28 days before a tournament and talk to anybody, your buddies from around that lake or anything like that. So I like it. I really do.
Nice. Do you have a tournament you're really looking forward to this year?
I've got Arkansas River and Tom Bigby circled because that is right up my alley. So river grinding, not having to catch huge bags, 3-pounders go a long way, 4-pounders are big, those type of just grinder river tournaments. That's what I look forward to. And I'm stoked that it's the third and fourth tournament of the year, because I just feel like that's a great placement for, a tournament you feel like you're going to do, 2 tournaments you feel like you're going to do good in. You hit a little stride in those 2, and you can jump yourself up the AOY board real quick too.
And get some momentum for the second half of the season.
Exactly. Ride it out for a few more turns. Because there's a couple of them that I'm not that excited about going to. And it's not that I don't feel confident myself. I know my style of fishing, and I know that, like, we go to Lake Murray, I'm not a herring fisherman, and it's freaky. But if you could have two really strong river tournaments, you can, and then you throw in like a strong Gunnersville or Martin to go with that, and you can really ride it out. I got ear horn from this dog.
Something has taken an absolute whooping in that room. I tell you that deer
Right where
antler.
we left off, gang. Right where we left off.
Antler versus dog.
Yeah. Antler versus my sheetrock.
Yeah, that Martin tournament, you touched on it a little bit. That's going to be very interesting. Like you said, even though it's a scope event, the fact that not a lot of big fish, you know, a guy can scope and catch 30 or 40 fish, and a guy can, go down the bank throwing a chatterbait and a fritz side.
Do you think Trip will make a special appearance at that one?
I had to throw that horn outside.
Yeah, he'll probably show up.
Because that's where he lives, right?
He lives close there. He lives on Jordan.
I just kind of wondered if he would make a special appearance at that lake.
But yeah, a guy that's a bank beater can, maybe catch 10 fish instead of 30, but the weight's going to be the same.
Exactly.
Or,
Well, and I feel like it's everybody's kind of under the same thought process of, you can go scope up 100 fish in a day at Martin, but to get those big weights, it's not.
Yeah.
Really, you got to catch big, shallow, largemouth, or the big spots. They live shallow at that place. It was the same way when we were there for that open a couple years ago, and it allows the guy like myself that wants to fish shallow the whole time to go fish shallow. You're just not fishing for literally 50 to 80 bites like the guys are scoping, because I went there in pre-practice the other day, and it was unbelievable scoping, but
yeah.
I didn't catch any big ones until I went shallow, and I feel like everybody kind of sees that playing out.
Is that the Elite Series that Takahiro Omori won?
It is. Yeah. He found the crazy one cast spot, and
that was wild.
Yeah.
I remember that. He caught one and it had his bait in its mouth
from the day before.
Yes.
That's crazy.
But that'll be a cool one. That will be a cool one in the sense I'm curious to see how much scope plays into, the guys that do really well. I can see the shallow scoping thing being a big player, because guys are going to figure out how to use it in that way, and I could see that being a player. But I'm really curious to see how that one lays out with the power of the scope, as everybody says.
Mm-hmm.
But that tournament is in April, or is that
in February? Which is awesome, because that's that's like what we do around here. It's the same stuff. Highland Reservoir winter fishing is all it's going to be. So
that should be a lot of fun, and I would think.
I'm excited. I am excited in that sense. And just, I mentioned earlier, I love starting in Florida because I love, more than anything, going down there and fishing in 75-degree weather, and they're spawning and everything's just crazy. But it's hard to fish around here all winter and then know in the back of your mind, well, yeah, but I'm about to go start the season off punching mats and flipping braid and, reed heads and stuff like that. I'm about to have to completely flip-flop. So it's nice being able to fish around here all winter and then kind of ride it out in some sense into the first two tournaments rather than having to completely switch gears.
Yeah, I get that. Is there an event you're not looking forward to? Well, you already said probably Murray because of the herring.
Probably Murray. I feel like the herring fishing is simple, but it just intimidates the crap out of me. So it's just
what intimidates you?
I don't know. I don't even know what one looks like. I don't know what a herring looks like. I don't know why they do what they do. I mean, I can tell you all about thread fins and gizzards, but you throw a herring in there and you tell me one herring's in a lake and I could be like, oh Lord, here we go. They're going to be all strung out differently than everything else I'm used to. But I don't know. That one just freaks me out because of herring fishing is all it is. And it's solely in my head. I've actually caught them at Murray.
I mean, what's different in your head about herring fishing?
They're like
Then-
nomad. They're like nomad bait fish, and they just go
Exactly.
wherever, and they don't have any rhyme or reason to them.
Yeah, they're a bait fish that makes no sense of why they do what they do. So it's just hard to. I don't know. We go to Hartwell all the time, so I feel like I'm there once a year for a tournament, and for some reason the herring get in my mind, and then guys catch them at. You wouldn't think they even knew herring were in the lake. They're flipping jigs around docks and
yeah.
catching them off beds, and I'm out there like, oh, I got to be throwing my sea bill across this point, or they're not gonna. I'm not gonna catch anything. And Drew Cook's over there cracking them off beds behind me somewhere, and I'm like, well, I don't know what to tell you.
That gas station tackle shop right there at the intersection, they have herring.
They've
they
got.
do.
Like, just go in there and look at one. So next time you're there, you'll know what they look like.
I did just get some Huddlestons in today that are blueback herring, and that's probably the closest I'll ever come to knowing what one looks like.
Yeah.
What's the herring in the fish tank do? Like run around in a circle and then jump out?
I don't know what they do.
Oh, I thought you said you saw them in the fish tank.
No, I said I know they're there. I've never seen one either. But somebody was saying they sell them or something.
It
Yeah,
is a
they-
shad. It is a species of shad, though, right? Not like a brim or nothing. It's like a species of shad.
Yeah.
They're kind of cigar shaped.
I think it's like a sardine.
Yeah.
So they really are saltwaterish kind of little freaks.
I fish with a guy a lot around here, an older man, and he eats herring fillets, those canned herring fillets. That's what he takes for lunch on the boat.
Yummy.
Mhm.
That's
Kipper
useless
snack.
information that I'm just throwing out there, but it's
Little kipper snack. Kipper
Yeah.
snack.
Hot
Good.
salt, hot oil, or like chili oil, or what?
he cracks it open and puts a mustard packet on there and on it, and then go, oh, it's nasty. It is nasty. You think Viennas or Viennas or whatever are nasty? Those are really nasty.
On a cracker.
On a cracker.
Yeah.
On a cracker. Put that on a cracker.
My grandpa had a kipper snack or sardine in his lunch every day.
Yeah.
I'd rather lick
Kipper
my
snacks.
inside.
That's what they're called. So gross. That's truly the closest I've ever been to a herring. Probably.
It's
My
out of
whole
a
career.
metal can.
Maybe you should carry some kipper snacks with you when you go to Murray, and that way
Apparently. So, I don't know. We had a tournament at Hartwell years ago, and Easton Fothergill gave me the point to be on. There was a herring spawn going on it. And I rolled up and fished there 2 days of the tournament, started both mornings there, and I never saw a herring or whatever. I was like, there's nothing going on here. I don't think it was real. So we'll figure it out.
Easton.
Easton and I were college roommates. So that was where that's our connection.
Yeah.
But yeah.
You've had several roommates that we're familiar with.
Hunter Baird, Easton Fothergill.
Yeah, we heard some stories.
I'm sure. I guarantee you.
We had our state qualifier in our meeting here at the lodge, and there was a bunch of libations went down, and there were some stories
I'm sure.
that we probably can't tell on this show.
I would bet not. Especially if it was the days where I lived with Hunter Baird, because we nicknamed our house the Animal House. It was college.
If he learned anything from his dad,
Do what?
if Hunter learned anything from his dad, Jason, yeah.
There was plenty of good stories came out of that house.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Pleading.
So you went to school at Drury?
I did for 2 years, and then I went to Montevallo for 2 years. That's where I lived with Easton.
Cool. Which
I
one
think
do you
the
like better?
college kicked off today, did it not? On
They
the
did.
Kissimmee chain.
Mm-hmm. All right. Toho or Kissimmee Chain, whatever. The Opens
What
go there next week, I think.
what
But
did it take? Do you know what it took to lead that today?
I think 25. I looked earlier. I think it was 25. And then the weights kind of dropped. But and I'm pretty sure that's where Dad's fishing next week for the Open, if I'm not mistaken. But they're going to get hit with like a massive cold front he was talking about. And that's
bad down there.
Yeah, I went over to his house yesterday. He was packing the boat up, and he had a lot of spinning rods going to Florida with him. So something must have been coming.
Yeah. Yeah.
Poor guy.
What about the Pasqua tank?
I don't know. I really don't. When we were there last year, the first day of practice I had was awesome. I mean, it was river, cypress tree fishing, Silver Lake and South Arkansas type of stuff, just gorgeous. And there was one on both sides of every tree, it felt like. And then the tournament came around and the tide pulled out, and I guess that jacked them up. I don't know. But it was I think I had, because I was keeping up with it, I had in between 80 and 90 bites the first day of practice. And I just thought this was going to be a slugfest. I was going to catch the crap out of them. And then the first day of tournament came around, and I got like 6 bites. And it was just, that threw me for a loop. But it's a cool, really cool place. I don't know how I feel about it. I like it. I like everything about it. The cypress trees, the current, the tide. I love all that. But it seems to be a very volatile place. And that's kind of the unknown factor. I mean, it doesn't take anything but the wind shifting to change that whole place because it's so big. It sucks the water out of certain places and rises it up in other places. And it's just such an unknown factor. And there's no tournaments other than ours last year, which that was pretty much dominated by one deal, was scoping spawners around cypress trees. So there was not a whole lot else to go off of to really learn a whole lot. So it's just it's an unknown factor until big tournaments start frequenting that place. And you know, because we all watch Bass Live all the time in our houses. I mean, we learn about these places a lot from tournament coverage, and it's still just one of those unknown factors, you know, compared to a lot of the other ones. You know where it goes down at, you know what you're going to be doing. You just got to hope that you find the little thing within the thing to make a lot of ground. But that is a true unknown factor.
And it's going to be different still, a different time of year.
Exactly. And that's
you know, so that'll all be new.
That would be a great one to know a guy at. Really, with our rule change and stuff, it would be a really good one to be able to call somebody and go, hey, just point me in the right direction if you had somebody up there. And I mean, I'm sure that's the guys that are going to, not all of them that do good, but a lot of the guys that have those connections, they're going to probably utilize it, which is the right thing to do because it's such a unknown place.
How have you done? Well, have you fished much tidal waters before?
I have like Winyah Bay, James River. I love James River because it's super, super predictable. But James River, the tide's also predictable. A place like Pasqua Tank, you don't know, the wind plays so much into that tide that you never know what. I mean, you can go to James River when they're spawning, and you can get into a backwater where you know they're at, and you can clock it to the minute. At 10:30, it's going to start falling. At 10:45, they are going to ignite. And at 11:15, when it starts coming back up, they're going to shut down. I mean, you know exactly how it happens. And you go to a place like Pasqua Tank, and you don't know what's going to happen because it could fall with the wind. It could rise if it blows the other way. It could just suck like it did for me last year. You just don't know what's going to happen. So it's a super weird place.
I like Ben Milliken's nickname for it. He calls it the Pasqua Skank.
It is. It can be. Unless you're Kyle Welcher, it dang sure is.
Yeah.
How it'll be interesting.
How does it feel? Does it feel different going into your second year versus where you were at this year or last year?
Definitely, it definitely does.
How's your mind? How's your mind? And are you more at
It's
ease? I don't know.
it's just it is a different mindset. Last year I felt like I was super awestruck with being there, and kind of got comfortable, maybe complacent, maybe that's the word. I don't know. Kind of just was like, hey, I made it to the elites. I'm awestruck by fishing against all the best in the world, and just kind of let it ride. And it obviously I got my rear end kicked through the door. So there's definitely a bigger fire this year because now I'm kind of pissed off. But I'm past that kind of awestruckness of the whole thing like I was in last year. Now heck, I talk to half these guys on the phone here and there. Just we're all buddies now, and it's not near, what I said in awe of fishing against those guys, but it ignited a fire because I fished a season, got my tail kicked. I saw that it's a cutthroat playing field, and now I want to do. I never pre-practiced for a tournament last year, and that's pathetic. You're fishing for a living, you're fishing against the best in the world, and you're not going to go pre-practice for tournaments. All of these other guys that are killing it, they go pre-practice for every tournament. It's sitting right there. That's the formula. So I went to Guntersville Martin. Now I've got my schedule, my calendar mapped out for tournaments, and then I've got pre-practicing days that are just as important as the tournaments that I'm going to go and ride around and, and look at stuff and just work harder more than anything. And really, I was going to fish some other stuff this year. Thought about fishing NPFL. Well, I thought about fishing NPFL, then I realized I couldn't afford it. Thought about fishing the dual threat team series, and then I just figured it was too much of a distraction for me. And I'm like, I'm just going to put everything in the elites this year. I'm fishing the Mr. Bass Arkansas here, and that's the only other thing that I really am putting time into fishing. If a BFL pops up or something like that, I might jump in it, but I'm ready to work harder this year than I feel like where I'm at now is where I was when I was going into that season of opens when I qualified, because I've really got the hunger for it now. And I'm past that comfortableness or complacency, whatever you want to call it, of just happy to be there.
You seem, to me, you seem a little more confident. Like, even, just your demeanor seems like I can see that. I can see like
Right.
last year you were a little awestruck, and
Right.
I can see that.
And there's the work side of it too. I'm more comfortable with backing my boat in next to all these guys and playing at their level, but a lot of it's putting in work, getting rid of toxic girlfriends and focusing full in on the tour and getting your crap in line for the season. You just really doing everything behind the scenes, all the small things that show on the water when it counts. That's what I'm ready for.
Where did you finish last year?
74.
Or 74, somewhere down there.
74. So
70.
just outside that.
With that said, I'm confused on something that happened to you last year, and I'm not trying to rub salt in the wound. 16th in Okeechobee, right? I'm assuming, I'm pretty confident I know what you're doing there.
Yeah.
And then we go to Lake 10 Killer that's flooded and in the bushes, and you have your worst finish. What happened?
Yeah, well, I got caught up with the scope. I thought I was so determined going into that tournament that it was going to get one scoping because it was a clear Highland reservoir that I was like, that's what's going to happen. It's going to happen. And I think a season of seeing it dominate in some form or fashion, it was like, man, we're walking straight into live scoper's paradise in my head. if I'd have went in pre-practice, kind of back to my point, I'd have known like, it's not that big of a player. So rolled into that and I scoped the whole time. And what do? They catch them flipping bushes and chatterbaiting in the midsection of the lake. And I'm like, well, I missed that one completely. And that was a frustrating one. That was actually the tournament that I set back from, and I went, why do you try to get out of your comfort zone? Why do you try to go do what everybody else is going to do? I'm not a scoper like Easton Tucker, Emil, Paul Marks. I'm not those guys. I'm a river rat. I'm a shallow water power fisherman. Just go do your thing. And especially when, like that tournament, I had a terrible practice trying to be a scoper. And it was like, that was everything in your wheelhouse or everything in your side to just go, I'm going up a river and throwing a chatterbait the whole day. And I didn't do it still. I tried to make it work. It was, it was dumb. But that was definitely one of those tournaments I look back on and I'm like, dang, man, they crushed them fishing bushes, shallow power fishing and all that. And I was so
wish you could have it back.
Exactly. Because I would love to practice for a day up there in that river.
When you get there, when you're at a tournament, you guys have just 2 days or 2.5 days practice? What?
3 days. They give us 3 now. And sometimes we get an off day in between the last day of practice and the first day of the tournament.
Okay.
Depending on if they're butted up or the tournaments are back to back or not.
Exactly. I think if they have the ability to kind of free up that day, they'll do it. But if we're kind of time crunching, I like having an off day though.
All right.
Yeah, it's nice to practice till dark and just go straight to bed and wake up the next day and rig your tackle. I do like an off day.
I would have to agree.
I think.
Give a little time to relax a little bit.
Yeah, catch up on a little sleep and, kind of, because we put ourselves through a lot of guys put themselves through a lot of tournaments, but like we do at the end of the day, all of us put ourselves through a lot of, I guess just a lot, waking up early, long days, your mind's constantly racing. You're just going 9,000 miles to nothing in your head and physically. Conditions are brutal, the whole 9 yards. And then it's nice to have a day to just kick it back and work on stuff, tighten down nuts and bolts and restring some poles and just relax for a day.
What is your mentality going into a tournament? Are you trying to win? Are you trying to get points? Stay a certain level of points? Are you thinking about points?
Definitely. I mean, I was talking to Cody Huff about this the other day. I was telling him about, I felt like this whole past season I was trying to win every tournament. Everywhere we went to, I wanted to find, and we all do it in a sense, or we all hope for it in a sense, but it's super toxic to get caught up in this, because he said he used to do it as well when he started was, man, you roll out there to a lake and you want to find that Takahiro spot on Martin that I'm going to pull up here every day, make 5 casts, catch 25 pounds, go in, and you're looking for that. And you get caught up in looking for that, and you completely miss where you could catch 14 pounds a day and make a check or make the classic, or, you miss those point grabbing spots and all the other stuff because you are looking for just the spot. And some lakes it doesn't even exist, but you believe it exists at every one of them. So I think my mentality last year was, I want to find the winning spot. I want to win a blue trophy. And this year, I'm going to make it a point to, I wouldn't say fish for 50th, but I want to fish for truly probably 20th, if that makes sense. Because that puts you in the cut. And if you have a little bit go your way, you're up there in the top 10 fishing on Sunday. But
you got a chance.
You got to balance that out. And every time somebody wins, it's because the stars align. Almost every time. I mean, you talk about the Johnsons at St. Lawrence River, they know where to win. But a lot of this stuff is, man, everything just happened perfect that week, or everything went my way this week. And I caught a 6-pounder here where I thought I was going to catch a 10-pound limit, and then I caught a 4, and then it clued me into this was the stretch, and and then it just happens that way. It's going to happen when it's meant to happen. You can't try to force it and try to make that one cast spot or that money stretch just appear, especially at places you don't know, and spend your whole practice looking for it.
Mm-hmm. Who did we have on? Was it Easton that says he doesn't think about points?
Yeah. He said that.
I think there's two. I think some guys think that way and some guys don't. I mean, I think I would probably, if I was good enough to catch half the fish that these guys are catching, that would be the first thing. That would be awesome. Then maybe I could win a tournament like around here or in the Big Hill Club tournament or something. Might be able to win one once in a while. But I think I would be in the Beau Browning venue where I would fish for, if I was there, I would probably fish for points, and if it happens, it happens.
Exactly.
I mean, basically what Beau just described was he's fishing for longevity in the sport.
Exactly.
You think about it, and amen to that.
Yeah, that's what I would think. I mean, guys that, maybe after you get a certain level of success, then maybe you can kind of lean the other way. Like I think
Right.
Pat Schlopper is there.
Right.
I think he started out the first few years, just trying to get a check, just trying to fish. And he changed last year how he fished.
Mm-hmm.
He said that on the show. And I believe he goes for the win. That's just his mentality.
I think if you're going to do what you just described, at some point the stars will align, and
Exactly.
I think you're going to catch them good enough to win eventually.
Yeah.
100%.
The goal for me would be the exact same. It's a mathematical equation almost. At some point, you're either going to.
It's kind of like playing the lottery.
You're either going to suck and get eliminated, or you're gonna cash enough checks and do good enough that at some point, 10 years or 15 years down the road in your career, you're going to win one.
You can't win if you're not there to play.
That's exactly
you
right.
put yourself in position to make Saturdays and Sundays. Especially if you put yourself in Sunday a lot, you'll win one eventually.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, it's just you just have to fish that way. I mean, you have to also acknowledge that it's going to happen when it's going to happen. I mean, like I said, I've got Arkansas and Tom Bigby circled because that's the most my style. I'm not going to go out there and try to win them or anything like I feel like a lot of people would think that I would, because there's no need to get caught up in that, because we had an open here at Washita a couple of years ago on my home lake, and the year that I qualified. But I was so determined to win that tournament that I went up and tried stuff that you would do in a one-day shootout. And it bit me so bad. I mean, I look back on it now, and the guy that won it, Jeremiah Kendi, we were fishing a couple of days ago, and just fun fishing, and we do it a lot. And every time we go, I'm like, man, you know how easy it would have been to notch a top 20 if I'd have just fished like this or done something like this, just fished simple and thought about points. But I was so set on winning that thing that I went out there and fell flat on my face. And that is a tournament in that season where when we went into Martin at the end of the year, I would have been walking into the elites. But I had to fish for my life on the last day of Martin to make it. And it's just, you don't want to put yourself in that position. There's no need to be the hero or just, swing for the fences everywhere you go. And It's frustrating, but it's a crazy game we play too, and that stuff, you'll go to a tournament you thought about laying up on, and then get a wild hair because you had a good practice and think you can go win it in 5 casts, and then go out there and 0, and it's just I do know this, and this is kind of goes back to my point of going into a tournament and fishing for points. I had trying to think. I want to say 4 tournaments this year where I didn't weigh in a limit on a day, which is horrible. Horrible. I mean, that's pathetic. But it was because I was trying to catch a giant bag and, got all squirrely on them. And I look back on it the other day, and I'm just taking averages of the body of water or whatever to kind of make it realistic. And I dang sure wouldn't have been outside of 70th. I know that, but I mean, a lot of it you kind of look at and you're like, dang, man, if I'd have caught a limit at Fork, an extra one at Fork that could have been a 3 to 10 pounder, I'd have been in the cut. I missed a lot of cuts, just barely, because I didn't catch a limit or something. Sabine was one of those. I mean, I got all squirrely. Then I went to an area that last day on Saturday and pulled up to an area I knew they were at but didn't want to go to because I was trying to win, and then pulled up in there and lost a 4 and lost 2 other ones, and I'd have had to been fishing in the hunt to win on the last day, and it's just frustrating, man. Instead, I dropped to 36 in that tournament, so it's it's just one of those deals. The one thing that I want to make sure this year is I will not go into a tournament without at least knowing how to come back with 5, and then we'll go from there. We'll figure it out as we go from there. And I've had guys tell me, Cody Huff, Brock Mosley, who I've roomed with this year a lot of guys have told me, Polnick actually mentioned this too one time, and he was like, it'll surprise you how many times you go to a limit hole and you jack around and catch a 5-pounder. I mean, it's stuff like that happens really often. Yeah. I've done it around here at the house. I mean, let's go fill a limit over here, and oh dang, there's a 4.5, 5-pounder. That's a bonus. Those little bonus fish come along when you're just fishing for bites.
Mm-hmm. John, you got any limit holes? You need to tell us about?
I mean, no. That's why it takes me till 2:45 to always catch a limit. If I had a limit hole, I wouldn't wait till 2:45. It would happen at 7:15.
Me and Moody we had one limit hole a couple years ago, and this year it turned into a lemon hole.
It's different here, man. In Alabama, when I lived in Alabama, yes, because you could go several different spots on Logan Martin and catch a limit of spots. Not too difficult, or like Martin.
I've got one for you, John, and because I heard about this the other day from one of our good buddies, Kyle Jesse.
My gosh,
Kyle and you, and for those of you that don't know, I'm a rod and reel line guru. If you looked in the corner of my shop, I'm with Bass Pro. I fish now with all Bass Pro rods, but I've accumulated so many different brands of rods, reels, the whole 9 yards. It's just something that I geek out over. No one ever knows about that corner. And when you see me at tournaments, I'm throwing Bass Pro, but I got that little collection. He told me you had a dedicated shaky head rod when y'all fished at Logan Martin on the Coosa River, and he was like, he said it was pimp. So what was that setup?
Shaky head rod.
He said it was a casting rod, like an NRX with a Corrado 70 on it.
Was it a grown man shaky head, or was it with a weenie worm shaky head?
It wasn't a shaky head. It was a flick. I call it a flick shake. Like a weighted wacky, like a VMC wacky rig. And yes, I threw it on a rod. NRX. I just happen to have it right here. Let me see.
So it wasn't a grown man shaky head. It was a weenie worm rig with a a dagger weight.
He was
The
going to
flick
play it
shake.
into being a grown man. Then he pulled out flick shake. And then,
Flick shake.
that-
Flick shake.
Because I'm thinking like grown man shaky head, like what I'm talking about, like a pumpkin head.
yeah.
Oh, it's right
Yeah.
here.
A big jewel half-ounce head on a Magnum shaky head or something like that.
Yeah, big Magnum trick worm. Yeah.
There she is, right there.
How about
See, I
that?
got it tied on all the time. It is a Chronarch.
That's a Nico deal there, ain't it? Kind of, or I guess it's not considered a Nico because the jig head. All this finesse crap has got me all jacked up.
Oh, see.
What's the rod you're throwing that on, though?
Well, this is not the rod that I was throwing. This is a GLX jig and worm rod. That's all it is. 7-1, extra fast.
7-1 medium extra fast. That's one of the best rods G. Loomis ever made.
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I thought he was gonna. I thought he was gonna tell you about the spook fish we were catching.
No, out over the finesse stuff or the finesse casting stuff.
Yeah, because I have one spinning rod to my name.
For a minnow?
Huh?
For a minnow?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
it.
John does a whole bunch of mid strolling.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that was I think we had a pretty good day that day I fished with Kyle.
He did. He said y'all had a fun. It was a tournament, wasn't it?
Yeah. Fished a little jackpot, little Saturday morning jackpot on Logan Martin.
Right.
Yeah, that was a fun day. I was going to ask you something, though. Do you know, back on the point, are you the guy, so you finished 72nd or whatever, do you know exactly where you have to finish this year to assure, it always works down because some guys won't renew,
Right.
You may have a retirement guy, so 70 is the for sure.
Yeah.
That you're in, and then it works down from there. But so you're at 72, you get 2 years. Do you know where for sure you have to be?
Top 70. I mean, that's
68. Would it be 68?
No, it'd be 70 because once you finish outside of that top 70,
then it's average.
Then it's an average. You hit the chopping block outside of 70th.
So 70 is the automatic.
Right. Say if I hit 70th this year, I mean, I'm out. I'm going because I got a 74th or whatever to go in there with that. Yeah. I mean, heck, guys are getting cut now with 45th averages, which is crazy.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they have a bad year and they fall out.
We did talk about that as a rookie or a young guy that's, just starting out, you get your 2 years, but for those guys that, unfortunately, like the Blake Caps of the world that finished way down in 98 or whatever he finished, that's going to be hard.
No doubt. I mean, I'm in the same boat with as much as good as the averages are getting of guys that are getting cut. I mean, I cannot finish outside of 70th for the next 4 years until I can drop that's when you can drop a year.
Yeah.
Here's the thing that I tell myself, and in the most humble way possible, I fished as bad as I could fish this year. This is just me telling you what I tell myself in the mirror. I fished as bad as I could fish this year. I feel like worst year I've ever had fishing, and I finished in 74th.
Mm-hmm.
Just get your crap together a little bit next year, and damn, dude, you shouldn't end up outside of 70th. I mean, that's what I tell myself.
Yeah,
it's pretty. That's the way to look at it. And a guy like Blake Caps is probably telling himself the same thing. It's like, dang, man, just finish in top 70th top 70s 4 years in a row, and let's get rid of that year, and let's focus on the next 5. It's because when we hit for the people that don't know, when we hit 5 years,
Mm-hmm.
every 5 years you get to drop a bad AOY.
Yeah, if Blake finishes 70th place for the next 4 years, then he gets to throw out that 98.
Exactly, and that's the same boat I'm in, because with as stout as the averages are now, you can't have that in there. I mean,
I'm not a complete math expert. I went to school in Cherryville High School, so I'm already apologizing. But you had 2 finishes in the 80s. You had an 82nd and an 85th. The rest was the next worst was 73rd. I mean, everything else was in the 60s, and you had a 30 and a 16th and a 54. I mean, you're right there.
right.
If those 280, that 85th and that 82nd wasn't there, and it was in the 70 number range, what's that, 10 places?
Exactly. I mean, that's how simple it can be. That's how easy you can fall, and that's how easy you can rise. I mean, that's
right.
It's like we said, it's a cutthroat game we play, but it gives you hope for me to go, like I said, dang man, you will it in, put a little more effort in, and you should see it.
I agree.
In that sense of moving up and not having to worry about this stuff. I mean, everybody wants to make the Classic. I want to make the Classic. I mean, that's the number one goal is a Fish and Bass Master Classic. Fish a lot of them if I can, but you got to work hard to make the Classic. You got to work hard to stay in it. And if you start slacking, it shows. So cheers to not slacking anymore, I guess. That's the best way to put it.
I kind of wonder, and this is just me thinking out loud, but it's been in the rumor mill for quite some time that the other professional league is going to cut their field down to 50 or something, like something real thin in the next year. I'm kind of, what's that?
Major League?
Mm-hmm.
They're already there.
Well, they're cutting it down even further. Like they cut it down to whatever it is now, and then in the next year or two, they're cutting it down even more. I'm kind of surprised that Bass doesn't expand their Elite Series field just a touch,
right?
To maybe 125, and invite some of that talent over.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see if they have the.
I mean, I know it's a wild thought.
Yeah, I mean that's
just talking. But
that's a tricky one to navigate in the sense of what does it take to qualify for those guys to come over? I mean, but I get where you're coming from completely. Capitalize on those guys, and those household names. That's the crazy thing about this average of guys getting cut is household name guys are on both sides. MLF and Bass are hitting the road, and these are guys that have been around the game for a long time. But I do think if Bass keeps it where they're at, that 70th place and out, you hit the chopping block. I feel like that's appropriate. I feel like that's that's and I mean if it was 80th, I would feel like that was even more, but I get where they're coming from on it all.
I mean, I know we've seen some elite fields in the 112, 113 range somewhere in there, but I'm surprised they just haven't been. I'd be surprised if they weren't thinking about maybe 125 consistently. Right. And even if you did have to qualify like the rest of the guys through the EQs, I get it. But that would still give that opportunity for possibly some of those guys that are going to get cut from BPT, blah, blah, blah. That would maybe give them a better shot at, instead of bringing whatever it is, 9 or 10 guys from the EQs up, bring 15 up.
Right.
Maybe lower that that Elite Series standard down some, 75th or something.
Yeah, I don't think MLF is cutting anymore. They went from 80 to 65 to 50. I think that's what they were. 51. That's what they were. That was their goal, to get to 50. They might cut one, but I think it's 50 is where they want to be. As far as the bass, I don't know how the anglers feel now, but they used to not want more. Like
Right.
it's the Elite Series, and matter of fact, when I was there was talk of going down to 75, and it had of a lot of steam, and it almost happened, and then some people that were going to get cut going to 75 realized they were going to get cut, and then they went back to 90, and it was going to stay at 90, and then some people that were going to get cut when it was going to 90 didn't like that, so it went back to 100. So
Right.
that's
Yeah.
kind of how they got back to the 100 plus, special things is why it's over 100.
And I feel like 100 is a good number to sit around. But I to Kyle's point, I understand exactly where you're coming from of capitalizing, because there's a lot of fans out there that want to see those household names competing at the top level of something, and that's the biggest thing. Those guys, I mean, when MLF, and y'all can't say it, but I can, or I will, when MLF cut from all that to 50 or whatever they did, the household names that left the field completely, the top field completely, that was unbelievable. Yeah. Truthfully. I mean, that's insane. Guys that have played at the top level for so long that kids have jerseys hanging up in their rooms and people know, and you just, heck with it, you're fired, hit the road like we never knew you. That doesn't sit right with me. That's why being completely honest, that's why I went to Bassmaster and I didn't go fish the pro circuit to try to make BPT. Yep. Honest truth. That I don't like that kind. I don't like playing that game of I don't know when my boss is going to be mad. So
yeah.
Consistency wins.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And I think the NPFL has tried to do exactly what you're talking about doing, yes. Kyle. They've invited a lot of those guys to come fish. Yeah. And I don't know if they're done yet. They may go up a few more.
And it's cool to see. I really and truly hope NPFL takes off. And I don't personally ever think it'll be as big as like a Bassmaster will be, but I think it's awesome to give the guys that want to go fish all no forward facing, the guys that might have been cut, it gives them a place to go be on camera. And I've heard guys say, like, they do cater to those guys that come from bass and those household names. They cater to them a little bit to kind of, they got a really good program established, I guess. So I'm really hoping that it takes off. I would have loved to fish with them this year, but like I said, it just didn't work out.
Danny.
Well, I'm sitting here looking through the comments, and Kibby got one on there a while ago that I was going to bring up and just was waiting. Richard asks, Beau, if you have any comments on the Arkansas Legacy Lunker program.
Yeah, I'm actually, this is awesome to me. We've never had that. And it's basically the share lunker program from the Texas Parks and Wildlife. We've finally got one of those, and it's, as an angler, it's really exciting knowing that we have that in place, not just for the sense that they're starting to cater more towards, doing that program to better our lakes, but it's cool to sit back on Facebook at night. Well, I don't have Facebook, but Instagram, and watch oh, somebody brought in a 12-pounder today. There's been, I think, 3 or 4 from one lake in Arkansas, which I'm sure it's getting hammered now. But there's been 3 or 4 out of one lake in Arkansas. It's like, I can't remember.
Swepco.
No, it's not. It's on Crowley's Ridge out.
Oh.
It's something that nobody's ever heard of, a place nobody's ever heard of. And there's been 3 legacy lunkers or whatever they call them brought in from it. And I don't know. It's just cool. I think it was needed. I think it gives anglers kind of some excitement to go try to target a big bass. I mean, I know it does, because so through that program, they're doing this. If you bring them a legacy lunker or whatever they call it fish, they put you in a raffle for, I think it's a brand new express or a brand new boat of some sorts. And which is cool, because that's a small person raffle by the end of the year for a boat. Like Dad said the other day, he's like, man, we need to go to White Oak, which is one of our big fish lakes, or where else did he say? He named off a couple. He's like, we need to go to these big fish lakes, Columbia, stuff like that, and try to catch a 10-pounder and get in that raffle. And I know if he's saying that, there's 1,000 other people there thinking the same thing. Let's go. It just ignited a new spark in Arkansas fishing, because now there's this program everybody can get behind, and it's got some incentive value too. But I'm a huge fan of it, and I love sitting back and seeing where the next big one comes from too.
Very cool.
A lot of those big fish lakes in Arkansas, are they south or where?
The ones that I've always known about have been more south, like White Oak and Columbia and Southern White Oak, I think is what they call the other one. It's south of here, so it's. But I mean, there's 10-pounders. There was a 14 caught the other day out here in the backyard at Lake DeGray.
Wow.
I mean, there's big ones getting caught. Actually, the guy caught the 14 right before the year started, and so I don't think it went into the Legacy Lunkers deal or whatever. It's actually, last I heard, was in the tanks at the Bass Pro in Little Rock, in the big aquarium. So it's just cool. But we catch a lot of big fish in Arkansas. There's just no one ever knows about it because we don't have a legacy program or anything like that. And you catch them, as much as I hate to say it, you either kill them and mount them, or you throw them back and get a replica and just on to the next deal. But now there's a little bit of incentive, and it's a cool program that myself and I feel like a lot of other guys are excited to watch and see where it goes. And it obviously works if you keep up with Texas Park and Wildlife. So that's even more exciting.
Yep.
Cool. I think the only Arkansas lake I've fished Swepco. I don't know if you know where that's at. Flint Creek Power Plant Lake.
Right.
And I think I've slipped into Arkansas while I was on Table Rock by accident. Way up Long Creek, I think.
Right.
Yeah. Because I remember seeing running, and I was looking at the sign. I was like, what did that say? And I turned around and it said something about a state line.
Welcome to Arkansas. That's probably what it said.
Welcome to Arkansas.
Yeah.
Flint Creek was good.
Flint Creek?
Swepco, sorry.
Yeah. Swepco's a power plant lake, isn't it?
Yeah, I used to work for the railroad, and I dumped coal there forever, and then just had enough interest in it. I was like, I'm gonna just turn around and drive back down here and fish, and it was fun. Right.
I've heard really good things from it, from Swepco. Any of those power plant lakes, especially in the winter. I mean,
yeah,
Welsh was always the big one down here in this region, which is in Texas, right over the border. But it was a power plant lake that everybody knew about, kind of a weekend vacation place.
Danny, are you going to ask him your new question, or are you going to save that for somebody else?
I think he's. I mean, I'm trying not to be discriminatory, but I don't think Beau's old enough.
Oh.
No, I'm in for it. I can give a young person's perspective on it. What do you got? I'll answer anything. It just might not be right.
I don't think there's any right or wrong answer. Have you heard of the Bermuda Triangle?
Next question.
See,
No,
that's
I'm kidding.
what I'm saying.
I have heard of the Bermuda Triangle. Is there more to it, or is that it?
I ask you that question to ask you this question. So did it just quit working or what? Only John and I get that. Because you guys aren't old enough.
I haven't heard this question either, just so you know, Beau, and I'm really confused. Like, you're not being discriminatory in you asked about the Bermuda Triangle. Like, what in the hell are you talking about?
Well, see, now you're both going to have to Google it. John and I think this is funny because when we were kids, man, that's all you heard about was the Bermuda Triangle. All these planes went down in it and shit disappeared. And
Amelia Earhart, that's where she died or got taken away.
And now you don't hear anything about it. I mean, did it just quit working or what?
I think there's a bunch of people now that go on vacation in the Bermuda Islands, don't they, or something? Isn't that like a nice destination deal?
Could be.
Bermuda, but that's not inside the triangle. That's like on the edge.
Sorry to cut you off, Beau. You can go ahead and
No, I don't know. I thought you were talking about on St. Clair, the Bermuda Triangle. I didn't know we were talking about islands and vacationing.
It's just that time of year where I just get like a seasonal depression, wintertime sucks kind of mood. And all I can think about is women in bikinis and vacations on the beach. I'm just being honest. That's where my head goes.
Well, that's the whole year for most of us.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
That's going to be a perfect segue into my scripture.
Oh, good.
Women in bikinis in your scripture?
Yeah.
Danny, did nobody else have a good comment on there? I figured Kyle Jesse would have piped in at some point in time.
Not so far.
Maybe he's not on YouTube.
They may not be watching tonight. I haven't seen Kyle for a little bit. But that's going to be fun for an older guest down the road.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's a good one.
That's
a good one.
Now you're Googling Bermuda Triangle.
No, I know what the Bermuda Triangle is. I know it was like some electromagnetic vacuum that sucked planes out of the sky and everybody got lost.
Ships.
Yeah, or
ships.
Portal or something.
It's supposedly like threw their magnetic compasses off and they didn't know how to use any other navigation devices and they just got stuck out there doing this.
Could be.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe if they had a Lowrance 0.1 antenna, they would have been kept on track.
Maybe. Maybe.
Oh, geez. Yeah. Cabin fever and it isn't even snowing yet.
I know.
Do y'all have fishing around y'all's neck of the woods right now?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
A couple of weeks ago.
Got you.
Yeah, the fishing is great right now on Grand Lake.
Oh, yeah, figure Grant. What about up in Kansas, though?
It's
a lot of guys are fishing crappie.
Yeah.
Don't hear of anybody fishing for bass, but that doesn't mean they aren't. There are some power plant lakes here too that are usually pretty good in the wintertime.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So the only time I ever fished in Kansas, and John, you might have known about this story, but apparently y'all were having a talk or whatever, was Lacing. And myself and Hunter Baird were supposed to fish a tournament on Lacey, and we had a great practice. But we
Uh-huh.
didn't end up fishing the tournament.
Why didn't you fish it?
I don't know. I got the wine flu the night before, and it was the only time it never showed up to take off. Had influences, I guess. But
you kids and your shenanigans.
Yep.
our tomfoolery. But Lake Scene was a very cool lake. A very cool lake. And that was the only place I fished in Kansas.
That was a good January lake whenever they were still, firing it with coal instead of natural gas like they do now.
Uh-huh.
The water was like, in January, it was like 53 degrees or 55 degrees or something in the middle of winter. And I mean, you could throw a chrome rattle trap all day and just kill the white bass if you wanted to just go get your line tugged on. It was fun.
Right. It was cool. I think we were catching them that time, and it was late fall, like maybe November, and we were catching them on a shad wrap down the rip wrap on Lacine. And I mean, throwing it in the dirt, crawling it over rocks. And it was colder. It had definitely been a cold fall, or a cold fall for me from Arkansas. But it felt like wintertime fishing and just crawling a shad wrap over rocks, and we were catching them in practice.
So you said you've been doing some winter fishing on Hamilton
and Ouachita and DeGray now around here.
Are those like Table Rock style, Bull Shoals style stuff, or? No,
not near as much. White River Chain has a totally different kind of feel to it. Like, I mean, Ouachita and DeGray and Hamilton, we have grass in these lakes. Like, good. DeGray just came back with great hydrilla, coontail mix. Like, you can go out there right now and catch them on a chatterbait through grass lines, and it's a blast. Ouachita, you can go out there and catch them in deep ditches and drains, or chatterbait in the grass or whatever. But it's a totally different kind of style. It almost is a mix of, our lakes are almost a mix of a Table Rock, Bull Shoals, and a Grand, if you threw grass in there too. Like, you see a lot of the Grand Lake one cast rock transition stuff and shallow, and then you have also, I mean, the deep grass deal is a X factor, but then you have the drain stuff like Table Rock and Bull Shoals, and it's a cool place.
What's the water temperature like now before it's fixing to get stupid cold?
It was 48 yesterday on Ouachita. So, and DeGray the day before was 48, 49. So it's and I'm sure it'll shell shock it in the next couple of days.
Yeah.
But we didn't even get to that until a couple of weeks ago. I mean, heck, we went till 2 weeks ago, and it was in the mid 50s. It felt, most of it seemed like it was in the mid 50s. And other than a few creeks that just set up a little differently that stay cold. I mean, heck, we were catching them on a topwater until literally a month ago. It's like through December, we were in buzzbait territory, which is, I don't know about anything about global warming. I'm not going to get into that whole statement, but we were in some global warming situations, and they were eating a buzzbait in the end of December.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
No doubt. We were just talking about how I don't know anybody that caught a buzzbait fish around these parts this year. Like, it was weird. Like, nobody I talked to was catching them on a buzzbait.
On Grand?
On Grand. I never caught a fish on a buzzbait.
Huh.
I practiced for there was two team championships back to back weekends in into October, 1st of November. The water temperature was, starting to cool off and things were starting to get right. And I fished down there a lot. And the topwater bite for me, apparently I suck throwing a buzzbait now. I don't know. I threw a teeny tiny buzzbait and I threw a big giant buzzbait, and I threw black, and I threw green and white and silver and gold and black bladed and this and rip rap, and caught like one fish on it.
Yeah, it was a weird year.
Kyle Jesse says that Beau has never caught a bass on a buzzbait.
Probably not, because every time me and him fish together, he's the buzzbait, spinnerbait guy, and I'm the chatterbait and flipper of the crew. Or the minnow, if the minnow plays. But I bet Kyle Jesse has never seen it. He's one of those team partners where you just go, you got your deal, I got mine. You do it. If they're eating a spinnerbait and a buzzbait, he's my partner. I mean, that's what he does. Kyle Jesse is a unique person, though, because he is working for Bassmaster, covering the Elite Series, and is one of the few people that I can honestly say probably has enough talent to be fishing the Elite Series, but he just doesn't. Like that's what I love about Kyle is he's so good on his coverage because, heck, man, he's probably as good as half the guys out there. Like no one gives him enough credit for it, but he is a hammer. And
Not taking that fire away, but that's what I always said about Mark Zona. I always wanted to see him do the same thing, you know.
Exactly. He's one of those guys that is just he's got it, but he's a commentator. He
may be the only one at Bass nowadays that can actually catch a bass. Now Trip's gone. I didn't. And you can tell him I said that too, Kyle.
Get him.
But he is legit. Kyle Jesse can catch a bass, and me and him fished so many team tournaments together over the years that we always made the joke when we both lived in Arkansas, we'd fish them all the time, and we would always be in the top 5, but we'd never win. And then I moved to Alabama to go to school. He moved to Alabama to work for Bassmaster. We started fishing team tournaments down there, and we went to winning stuff. And we're like, how could we not win on our home lakes, but we come down here to places that we've never seen, and then we start winning all the time. So it's a weird deal. It's a weird deal. But Kyle is, if he tried, he could be on the Elite Series. There's no doubt in my mind. I wish he would. Give me somebody to room with.
Well, he's definitely got the right first name. We'll give that to him.
He's got a fishing name.
You think he's better than Ronnie Moore?
What'd you say? I love me some Ronnie too, but I think Kyle's got him beat by a small margin. Heck, I don't think Ronnie's fished in a long time though. I'll give him.
I don't think he's fished since he got out of college.
Exactly. I think Kyle's good though. Really good.
Maybe that's what they need to do is have like an announcers tournament and bring in like Fishburne and what's that other dude's name before prior to Mercer, the Keith guy?
Mm-hmm.
What was his name?
Huh?
I can't remember. Keith Allen or whatever.
Keith Allen.
Yeah. Bring them all in. It'd be enjoyable to watch.
Kyle he's got his things. I mean, he's a spinnerbait, buzzbait, jig flipping, he's a shallow water power fisherman. That's what he is.
Mm-hmm.
And the amount of times that I've called Kyle and gone, hey, this happened just a couple of days, like in the past couple of weeks. I said, hey, have you ever thrown this jig? And he goes, yeah, I've thrown this jig. I said, what do you like about it? What's the deal? And I mean, on paper, I'm the Elite Series pro, and he's a commentator. And I'm like, what do you like about it? And then he gives me the full breakdown. This jig, this style head does this. And I mean, it goes to show Kyle's a stick, and he knows his stuff. Not that I'm anything. Like I said, I'm an Elite Series professional. But what I'm saying is, I call Kyle for advice on certain things because he's that good.
Yeah, he's a good kid. He's a good kid. I can call him a kid. You're a kid too. So is the other Kyle right above you. Not Danny though. Danny's not much
I'm not a
younger than
kid.
me.
I am not a kid.
No. What else we got? We've had Beau on quite a while.
Yeah, it's
It's
about
been
time.
pretty good. It's been interesting.
I think he drugged his dog.
Went to sleep. Went back to sleep. Oh, yeah. Oh, you woke him up.
He said, "What?"
Sorry, buddy.
Is it my time to come on air? He's
Nice.
Sucker's probably took an antler to the eye or something as crazy he was going there earlier.
Yeah, he was getting after it. He was getting after it.
Oh, Kyle comments further, says, John and I have caught them on the old jig on Logan Martin.
I think Kyle caught a 4-pounder at the last minute on a dock, if I'm remembering correctly. One of
I've
our
heard that.
tournaments we fish.
That matches to the story that I've been told.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
I remember that. That was a good day. I don't think we won anything, but it was a fun day. But
And we're all waiting to see if he says anything else.
yeah,
No pressure or anything.
Yeah, no pressure, Jesse, at all. Well, Beau, man, thanks for coming on tonight.
Thank you guys. I've enjoyed it. I always enjoy coming on talking to you guys and just talking fishing, keeping it relaxed.
yeah, it's kind of
Or-
like sitting on a tailgate.
Yeah, exactly.
The Bermuda Triangle or
Yeah, like
Bigfoot or
Helen
alien.
Keller flying through the Bermuda Triangle. No one else will talk about that. So, what makes this one unique?
Mm-hmm. That's right.
And you got to come on here next tournament you win. You got to come on here.
I'll be on here. I guarantee you I will be. I guarantee you. Not a problem.
Best of luck to you, Beau. Thank you.
Thank
Yeah.
you guys.
Yeah,
Thank you guys.
we'll be rooting for you this year, and hope to have you on multiple times this year. That'd be awesome.
Hopefully so. We can just put blue trophies up over, hopefully along this mantle, and each time I come on, there will be another one. And the dog threw up. All right. Well, I'm going to get off here and go. Get to work on this now, I guess. Well, thank you guys for having me, and I can't wait to be on next time.
You bet.
See you
All right,
guys.
good one.
Bye.
Oh, he's always a good sport.
Yep,
Oh yeah.
that was fun. Maybe we can get Kyle to come on with him next time.
That would be cool.
Talk about what it's like being the sidekick on the halftime show with Dave Mercer.
That would be interesting.
Yeah,
Quite interesting.
that would be good.
So, in keeping with our new John's Corner, what inspirational words do you have for us tonight that have to do with women in bikinis?
Well, I don't think it has to do with. It actually had to do with what he said before that. He said something about. Kyle said something about this time of year, you know, cold weather,
Oh,
gloomy, you
seasonal
know,
depression.
being seasonal depression, blah, 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 and how he gets over it. And I kind of get over it. I mean, that's a good way to get over it, the way he said, but I get over it this way as well. Psalm 146:5 says, happy is he whose hope is in the Lord his God. And then the commentary that goes with that is, happy is the man who has learned the secret of coming to God in daily prayer, which is, I do a lot, especially this time of year when there's not much going on around here, like you go, like I like to pray and read the Bible every morning, but frankly, when it's summertime or we're really busy, I don't take as much time as I do this time of year doing that, because there's just not that much time.
Right.
So the commentary says 15 minutes alone with God every morning before you start the day can change circumstances and remove mountains. But all this happiness and all these unlimited benefits which flow from the storehouse of heaven are contingent upon our relationship with God. Absolute dependency on and absolute yieldedness are the conditions of being his child. Only his children are entitled to receive those things that lend themselves to happiness. In order to be his child, there must be the surrender to the will of him. Man does not come to know God through works. This is the important part. He comes to know God by faith, through grace. You cannot work your way towards happiness and heaven. You cannot moralize your way. You cannot reform your way. You cannot buy your way. It comes as a gift of God through Christ. And that brings me to Romans 10:9, which is famous and maybe one of the most important verses in the Bible. If you declare with your mouth Jesus is Lord and believe that God has raised him from the dead, you will be saved. That's all it takes. It doesn't take good works. It doesn't take, you can't, buying, you can't buy your way. You can't post good stuff on Facebook, knocking down all the crap that's going on Facebook. You can't do any of that, or none of that will get you God's grace. All you have to do is what Romans 10:9 said, is declare that you believe and you're saved. That's all it takes. It's grace, God's grace. And I don't know if you've heard the first part, Kyle. I wasn't talking about bikinis and women. I was talking about happy is whose hope is in the Lord. Psalm 146:5. That'll, while thinking about women in bikinis can brighten your day, so can Psalm 146:5.
I was more insinuating, the whole tropical vacation deal. Yeah,
I got you.
But that's just like an added, bonus.
That's just added. Yeah, warm weather, lay it on the beach. I get it.
That woo-saw, like the Randy Blockets of the world, they say, when it's really cold and you're outside and you're fishing, if you just tell yourself you're not cold, you won't get cold.
Okay.
Thanks for your
let's all
inspirational
practice
message
that.
there,
over
Keith.
this.
Speaking of that, does anybody, speaking of not being cold, does anybody own like a pair of those pants I've been seeing advertised everywhere? They're like fleece lined, waterproof. Any of you guys own a pair of those? Because I've been seriously contemplating. Because I hear guys talk about them. Fishermen like they just wear like shorts or maybe long johns under them, and they're warm.
I don't have waterproof ones, but I do have fleece-lined pants that I wear when it's cold.
I can't wait to talk to Edwin about what he wears when it's cold. Before we got on the show, he posted a Facebook reel, and today looked like he was catching them. Looked like he was fishing somewhere,
Probably
But,
grand.
I mean, I'm not gonna tiptoe around. Like, he's not that big a dude. And
No.
smaller people, skinnier people, they have a tendency to get cold pretty quickly. So I'm curious what he wears when he's out there. I mean,
Matt Pangrax went on his show one day, said he wears like shorts and like some of these fleeced pants over them, and that's it. And maybe like if he gets really cold, he'll put on like his rain suit to block the wind over those. But he said they're amazing. I don't know if they're the same ones I'm looking at, but
well, I watched a bunch of the Bass Pro Tour Gunnersville stuff, and I know it was chilly down there. And did you notice some of those guys what they were wearing? It didn't look like they were wearing the burst suits. I mean, some of them, yeah, but
there wasn't anybody wearing long. Like we used to wear coveralls.
No.
Yeah,
like
insulated coveralls.
I mean, I guess we're watching a whole bunch of men on there, and I'm just a big wimp or something because I don't know. When it gets cold, I wear a bunch of stuff, but
it is. I know when I'm down to my weight that I like to be at, which I'm going to try to get to here this spring, which is about 40 to 50 pounds lighter than I am now. I can tell the difference when it's colder. Like I get colder easier. I don't have all this fat keeping me warm.
I get colder every year that I'm further away from when I quit Dillon's.
I will say
I was used to 50 degrees was the highest I worked in every single day.
Yeah, when I worked for Cisco, when I was your guys' age, and I worked on a truck running, unloading food for Cisco. If it was gonna be 50 degrees, 45 to 50 degrees, I was in shorts.
Yeah, no.
I mean, Brett still wears shorts. Like he's probably got shorts on right now. He lives in Iowa, and it's probably 10 degrees there. And he's probably wearing shorts.
I was that way too until a couple of years ago when I lost all this weight.
And you lowered your blood pressure?
Yeah.
I found a really good pair of insulated pants at a ski resort in Colorado. The unfortunate part about them is they're like for snow skiing or whatever.
I think that's what these are that they're selling for like fishing wear now.
These are the only thing I don't like about them is they have like a really exaggerated, like the pant legs are bigger than you think they
go over the boot.
Go to the ski boots, yeah.
Other than that, they're outstanding to wear when it's chilly.
I
There's no-
think that's what these are. Because they advertise that like the snowboarders and stuff wear them.
yeah. So I mean, I've actually been seeing them too. The little.
You'll all see them now because we've been talking about it and be on your
yeah.
phones. Be on your phones.
Deal.
Well, I've seen several ads for them on TikTok.
Mhm.
The problem with it is like, are you going to be inside? You know, when it comes to me picking clothes to wear, it's like, I can't hardly stand to put on a pair of insulated underwear or Lululemons or whatever you want to call them.
Dang, those are fancy.
I'm
Yeah.
afraid, first things first, I'm afraid I'm going to see myself in the mirror, and that can't happen when I put them things on. I'm like some overweight Grizzly Adams looking freak show in a ninja suit. Like, no, I don't want to scare the kids. But
Look like a bullfrog wearing pantyhose.
So I make sure never turn the lights on, but it's like I can't wear those for like longer than about 4 hours because my hair hurts. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's just they drive me nuts. So maybe the insulated pants are the answer.
Yeah, I think so. I'm getting closer and closer to ordering a pair of them. I was hoping I could see a pair, but
you do it first. You first.
I was hoping you guys would do it first.
I'll do it if you do it.
Oh my.
Yeah. Oh my.
Well, folks,
Von Miller signed with the Broncos.
A quarterback or what?
1-day contract so he could retire a Bronco.
I was gonna say, yeah.
1-day contract.
Hmm.
Go ahead.
Hey, Nick Foles. Hey, Nick Foles. Nick
Yes.
Foles.
Yes.
That's all I'm going to say. Nick Foles.
True enough. I sure hope that the Albert show is successful. I hope everyone is safe and gets there and has a great time. Sell everything they have in inventory. Run out of beer.
Just popped up. My Lucella.
That's the Chinese, John. You need to buy the American version.
Just popped up.
Mm-hmm. But it's not listening.
No. Yeah, I hope they all. I don't know if I'm going to come or not tomorrow. I'm probably definitely not coming Saturday. We're going to play it by ear, see what the weather's like.
Guys, thanks for watching. It's been a great visit with Beau Browning again, and glad to have Glenn on.
Yeah.
Glenn's welcome anytime. Come, especially because he'll be at Kyle's house.
I haven't seen you guys since Christmas, but chopped liver, I guess. Good to see you guys too.
And welcome back, Kiki.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Oh, play us off of here, Mr. Crank.
Sounds good.
That's if the music works.